Have you ever wondered how a man who wrote nothing changed everything? In the annals of history, few figures have been as influential and as enigmatic as Socrates. Born in Athens in the latter half of the 5th century BCE, he was a man who lived in a time of profound transformation, yet he himself left no written works, no grand texts or treatises. His philosophy, his wisdom, his ideas, they come to us through the writings of others, primarily his pupil Plato. Socrates was a stonemason by trade, but a philosopher by calling. His quest for wisdom and truth was relentless. He dared to question the status quo, to challenge the accepted norms, and to probe the depths of human understanding. He lived at a time when Athenian democracy was the envy of the ancient world, and yet he dared to question its very foundations. His ideas were revolutionary, his methods provocative. Using what would later be known as the Socratic method, he engaged in rigorous questioning, pushing his interlocutors to examine their beliefs, to justify their claims, and ultimately to realize the extent of their own ignorance. There was a certain irony to Socrates. He was a man who claimed to know nothing, yet his ideas have shaped the course of Western philosophy. His influence is seen in the works of Plato, Aristotle, and countless other philosophers who have since grappled with his ideas, his questions, and his contradictions. Socrates was in many ways a paradox. He was a man who lived in the public eye, yet remained deeply private. He was a man of the people, yet stood apart from them. He was a lover of wisdom, yet claimed to possess none. He was a man who was ultimately sentenced to death for his ideas, and yet his influence has endured for over 2 millennia. A man of contradictions, Socrates has fascinated thinkers for over 2 millennia. As we delve deeper into his life, his philosophy, and his legacy, we will seek to unravel the enigma that is Socrates, the man who, despite writing nothing, changed everything. Who was the man behind the myth? A simple stonemason or a profound philosopher? In the bustling streets of ancient Athens, a man named Socrates was carving a life for himself as a stonemason. His hands, hardened by years of shaping stone, were the tools that provided for his family. However, Socrates was not merely a craftsman. Within him thrived an insatiable curiosity, a burning desire to uncover the truths of the world. As a hoplite, a citizen soldier, Socrates served with distinction in the Peloponnesian War. It was in the crucible of war, amidst the chaos and the carnage, that Socrates began to question the world around him deeply. He sought to understand the nature of valor and courage, the essence of justice and duty. These questions led him away from the battlefield and the stonemason's chisel towards the realm of philosophy. As he delved deeper into the world of thought and inquiry, Socrates became a familiar figure in the Agora, Athens' bustling marketplace. His unkempt hair, barefoot stance, and simple tunic belied the profound wisdom he held within. His appearance was as unconventional as his ideas. He rejected the ostentatious display of wealth and status, choosing instead to lead a life of simplicity and frugality. His behavior, too, was a subject of intrigue. He was known for his ability to stay in deep thought for hours, oblivious to the world around him. His conversations often took the form of relentless questioning, a method that later came to be known as the Socratic method. He had the uncanny knack of making the obvious seem questionable, of unraveling the complexities of life through simple questions. Socrates, the man, was as intriguing as his philosophy. As a stonemason, he sculpted stones. As a philosopher, he sculpted thoughts. His life was a testament to his belief that an unexamined life is not worth living. His transformation from a simple stonemason to a profound philosopher is a journey that continues to inspire us. Socrates, the man, was as intriguing as his philosophy. How does one seek truth? For Socrates, it was through relentless questioning. This approach, known as the Socratic method, is a cornerstone of philosophical discourse and a testament to the power of critical thinking. Imagine a conversation where instead of telling you what to think, the other person only asks questions. That's the Socratic method in action. It's a form of dialogue where one person, the questioner, seeks to expose the contradictions in the other person's beliefs, encouraging them to question their own assumptions and arrive at their own conclusions. Socrates believed that true knowledge comes from within. He saw himself as a midwife of ideas, assisting others in giving birth to their own understanding. This approach encouraged self-examination and introspection, fostering a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. The Socratic method has had an enduring impact on philosophical discourse. It formed the basis of the scientific method, where hypotheses are formed and then tested through rigorous questioning and experimentation. It's also used in law schools, where students are encouraged to examine all sides of an issue to form a well-rounded argument. But its influence extends beyond academia. Anytime we question our beliefs, challenge our assumptions, or seek to understand rather than merely know, we are engaging in the Socratic method. It encourages us to be critical thinkers, to not just accept information at face value, but to delve deeper, to question, to seek the truth. And in a world where we are bombarded with information and misinformation, this ability to think critically, to question, to seek truth is more important than ever. The Socratic method teaches us that the pursuit of truth is not a passive process. It's an active, ongoing journey, one that requires us to continually question, reflect, and learn. The Socratic method remains a powerful tool for truth-seeking even today. So let's keep questioning, keep seeking, and remember that the journey to truth is as important as the destination. What happens when a society turns against its greatest thinker? This is the question that haunts us as we delve into the trial of Socrates, a pivotal event in the annals of human thought. In 399 BC, Athens was in turmoil. The democratic city-state had suffered a humiliating defeat in the Peloponnesian War and was in the throes of social and political upheaval. It was in this climate of suspicion and fear that Socrates, the renowned philosopher, was put on trial for his life. The charges against Socrates were twofold: impiety and corrupting the youth. He was accused of disrespecting the traditional gods of Athens and introducing new deities, a serious offense in a society where religion was intertwined with civic life. The second charge, corrupting the youth, stemmed from his role as a teacher and mentor to a generation of Athenians, many of whom had become influential figures in their own right. Socrates' defense was as unconventional as the man himself. He did not pander to the jury's prejudices or appeal to their emotions. Instead, he used the trial as a platform to espouse his philosophical beliefs, challenging the Athenians to examine their own lives and values. His words were a testament to his unyielding commitment to the pursuit of truth and knowledge, even in the face of death. The verdict, however, was not in his favor. Socrates was found guilty and sentenced to death by drinking a cup of poison hemlock. His execution marked a dark chapter in Athenian history, but it also transformed Socrates into a symbol of intellectual freedom and courage. In refusing to compromise his principles, Socrates underscored the value of independent thought and the right to dissent. His trial and execution served as a stark reminder of the dangers of intolerance and the suppression of free speech. In death, Socrates became a martyr for philosophy and free thinking. His legacy continues to inspire and challenge us, reminding us of the vital importance of questioning, learning, and the relentless pursuit of wisdom. How does a man condemned to death continue to shape the world? This is the question that hovers over the legacy of Socrates, the incessant gadfly of Athens. Socrates' teachings, immortalized through the works of his students Plato and Xenophon, have continued to shape philosophical discourse for over 2 millennia. Plato's dialogues, the primary source of our understanding of Socrates' philosophy, have been studied and revered from antiquity to the present day. They have sparked countless discussions and debates, tackling deep questions about ethics, knowledge, and the nature of reality. Xenophon, another of Socrates' students, also contributed significantly to preserving the Socratic legacy, providing a more down-to-earth depiction of the philosopher's teachings and character. But the influence of Socrates extends far beyond the works of his students. His philosophical principles continue to shape the way we think about the world, offering a framework for critical thinking and self-examination. The Socratic method, a form of cooperative argumentative dialogue, is still used today in various fields, from law to education, encouraging us to question our assumptions and seek truth. The enduring legacy of Socrates is also seen in his emphasis on virtue and ethical living. His belief that an unexamined life is not worth living compels us to constantly reflect on our actions and strive for moral excellence. This sentiment, echoed in numerous philosophical traditions, continues to inspire individuals and societies to pursue wisdom and virtue. Socrates' influence also permeates modern philosophy. His relentless questioning and pursuit of wisdom laid the foundation for Western philosophical thought, influencing philosophers from Descartes to Nietzsche. His ideas continue to be revisited and reinterpreted, revealing new insights and sparking fresh debates. In essence, Socrates' legacy is a testament to the power of ideas and the enduring value of philosophy. His teachings, his method, his relentless pursuit of truth, all these continue to resonate in the corridors of thought, shaping our understanding of the world and ourselves. Socrates' ideas continue to challenge us, urging us to question, to examine, and to seek truth. Why should a philosopher from ancient Greece matter to us today? This question brings us to the heart of our topic, the relevance of Socrates in today's world. When we think of Socrates, we often associate him with the ancient world, a period of time far removed from our own. But the truth is, his ideas and philosophies still hold great significance in our modern society. Socrates' main emphasis was on ethics, the study of moral right and wrong. He believed that the highest form of human excellence was not physical strength or nobility, but moral virtue. He argued that an individual's main focus should be on becoming a better person rather than accumulating wealth or power. Now let's take a moment to reflect on our society today. We live in a world where success is often measured by material wealth and social status. Socrates' philosophy challenges this notion and encourages us to question our values and priorities. Then there's the concept of truth. Socrates was a great believer in the pursuit of truth. He argued that we should never stop questioning, never stop learning in our quest for truth. In an age of information overload, where fake news and misinformation are rampant, the Socratic method of questioning can serve as a valuable tool to separate fact from fiction. It encourages us to not accept things at face value, but to dig deeper and seek the truth. Lastly, let's consider Socrates' advocacy for self-examination. He famously said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." This statement encourages introspection, self-awareness, and personal growth. In today's fast-paced world, where we often get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, taking the time to reflect on our actions, our beliefs, and our values can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. In a world of misinformation and superficiality, Socrates' call for critical thinking and ethical living is more relevant than ever. His philosophies, though ancient, provide timeless wisdom that we can apply in our lives today. Socrates, it seems, is not just a figure from the past, but a guide for the present and the future. As we journey through life, Socrates' words echo in our minds, "The unexamined life is not worth living." As we've explored today, Socrates, the enigmatic figure of ancient Athens, was more than a philosopher. He was a man who dared to question the status quo, who defied societal norms, and who ultimately paid the highest price for his commitment to truth. His Socratic method, a technique of inquiry that encourages critical thinking and exposes the contradictions in our beliefs, continues to be a cornerstone in modern education and discourse. Socrates' trial and subsequent death are stark reminders of the cost of intellectual freedom and the pursuit of truth. In the grand tapestry of human history, Socrates stands as a beacon of wisdom and resilience. His legacy endures, shaping our worldviews and challenging us to live examined lives. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Socrates, the gadfly of Athens. If you enjoyed this journey, please subscribe for more enlightening videos. Until next time, keep questioning, keep examining, and keep seeking truth.